Hi everybody, Luke Filmboss here, and today I am going to be reviewing Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. I just recently watched this film. I'm coming in a little bit late, but I've watched it now, and I just have to put this out there. I loved this film. This film is really, really good. And I never watched the original West Side Story, so I didn't know what to expect coming into this film. And I have to say, I was very well pleased. First off, I just have to say, this is probably the best, shot film that I've ever seen. Like, the cinematography is amazing. Even in the simple, shots and details, it finds a way to, make it look interesting. Like, this is one of those movies that you could take almost any shot, if not any shot of the movie, and you could hang it on your wall as a piece of art. Like, it is one of those films that is just so well done that even if you watched it without sound, it would probably be interesting to look at. Like, it is really good. And it's not just the cinematography, it's also the story. The story caught me by surprise, even though I knew kind of what to expect with the trailers. But this is a very mature story, and it's very unpredictable. And that's one of the things I really loved about this movie. Is I was caught by surprise multiple times going into this fresh with no knowledge of what to expect. It's quite an experience, and it's a movie that even watching it again, I feel would still be super fun just because I said the cinematography is so good, but also this the story that it's telling and the characters and the filmmaking in general. It's done in a way that it entertains. So even with the surprise factor being taken out, this would still be a very fun film to watch. It's a rare film that it feels real, and at some points it's like a feel good movie, and at some points it's a tearjerker, and definitely in the second half it leans way more to the heartbreaking side of things than it does to the happy side of things. This is a very not, I wouldn't say dark movie, but it has some very dark moments and very, very, very mature moments. And just due to the fact that because of how we're able to make films now compared to how we used to be able to, Steven Spielberg was definitely able to bring a little bit more of a realism to this, although I'm pretty sure the original did a very good job as well. A lot of older movies, even though they were restricted by the production code and all that, they still managed to pull off mature themes very well. So I'm still looking forward to seeing the original, and I'm going to definitely compare it. I don't know if I'm going to do a video on it, but there's a possibility because I really like this film, and if I really like that film, it might be worth my time. But this is just true cinema to me. Like, it's not just an awards contender, although it should win a whole bunch of awards. This movie is definitely an awards film, but it's not just an awards contender like something like Encanto, which I thought was extremely good. Definitely deserves Best Animated Feature and maybe some other Oscar nominations and wins. But West Side Story is something even more than Encanto. And it's not just a movie that's built on fan service with years of build up, something like Spider-Man No Way Home. It's so much more. This is what I would say is true cinema, and I would say Encanto is cinema, but not to this level. This is something it could have been made by anybody, and it would still have the same magic that it has. Now, of course, you have Steven Spielberg, but what I'm trying to say is there's no franchise connected to this. There's no brand name like the Disney name. It's not connected to a big Marvel franchise or anything. It's just a single story that's pretty much filmed and told to perfection. And that's what I mean by it stands on its own. Like Encanto, part of what makes Encanto so good is it's original, yes, but it still has some of those same qualities that we see in a lot of the other Disney animated films that just add to its charm and its magic. West Side Story is pretty much unlike any other film, like, that I've seen personally. Like, I know there's other films that are very similar, both in tone, in cinematography, characters, all the nationalities in the story, everything. But, like, it's not quite the same. And I'd say West Side Story is like the OG when it comes to this kind of a story, and it's very well done. All the whole race and like the whole fighting for territory and all that, the gangs and everything. This story is just so well crafted. I just like to give a shout out to whoever made this story back when the original came out, because this story is really engaging and the characters are really great. Characters like Tony and Maria, just like you fall in love with them. And then there's other characters that you grow attached to, although you know that a lot of time they're in the wrong, or sometimes they're kind of in the right, but also a lot in the wrong, and like they kind of deserve their fates. But for the most part, you just are seeing this story through all their different viewpoints, and it definitely portrays each character as they should be portrayed. And so while you do get attached to their character, you don't get attached to what they're necessarily fighting for. And there were things in this movie that I didn't agree with, although the main point and the main gist of the movie as a whole was very good, and I definitely think that this is an important film for a lot of people to watch. It's just done very well, and it never lets a character necessarily get away with what they do. Like, every character kind of gets their own justice that goes in accordance to what they do throughout the film. And it's a very interesting story, and because of that, that's where a lot of the heartbreak comes in, because there are a lot of flawed individuals in this movie, and there are real consequences in this movie, and it's played out very well. It's one of those films that I would say is definitely made better than what my personal opinion would be of it, but it's not like a far off comparison. Like, I would say I enjoyed Encanto and Spider-Man No Way Home more than this movie, but this movie definitely does top them in terms of filmmaking quality. So I give this movie a 95% in quality and a 91% in enjoyment for an overall score of 93%. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to help you be on the lookout for more videos from Luke Filmboss.